society. Marilyn's Cafe Society. Marilyn's Cafe Society. Okay, all right. Well, hello, everybody. Hello, how are you? And you, and yes, you. Well, welcome to another edition of Marilyn's Cafe Society radio show right here on YouTube, the YouTube channel. So, it's the 18th day, or I should say the 18th Saturday of 2018. Of course, we just have 47 more days left till summer. Are you excited about it? I am. I actually have been enjoying the summer-like weather that we've been experiencing here in the Chicagoland area for the last week or so. I hope you got a chance to get out and enjoy summer as well. I had a busy week too. How was your week? Yeah. Mine, I tell you, it was full of meetings and then work. No complaints. However, I love it. But I'm telling you, last night, I was so happy to see my bed. I really was. It was quite a busy week, but in a good way. All right. So today's show is going to be a bit shorter than usual because I actually recorded the second part of this show earlier in the week, and I'll share more about that with you a little bit later, but just so you'll know, we're going to breeze through the first part of the show. So we'll proceed on this day in history. All right. So I have a couple of them because they all kind of tie into the date, obviously, on this day in history, but kind of sort of the theme of the show as well. So I'm going to take you back to 1862 on this day in history. The Mexican army defeated the French Empire at the Battle of Puebla. Now, Cinco de Mayo, happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody, is not Mexico's Independence Day. However, it did mark a significant turn. This battle, the difficult battle of defeating France, marked a significant turn for Mexico, and that's why it's kind of celebrated on today. So once again, happy Cinco de Mayo. All right, also on this day in history in 1905, the Chicago Defender was founded by Robert S. Abbott. And of course, it was the first African-American publication to hit a circulation of over 100,000. And this publication, as it is today, tackled the issues that African-Americans faced, as well as highlighted the upward mobility of Blacks. And also on this day in history in 1973, the horse named Secretariat wins the Kentucky Derby in 1 minute, 59 2/5 seconds. And that is a record that is still standing right now. So Kentucky Derby, I believe this is Kentucky Derby weekend. So again, there's our theme for today. All right, so last week we did not get an opportunity to do Cafe Talk. I think I was just kind of rushing and we glossed right over it. So it has been posted or reposted to Twitter as well as Facebook, and you can call at the designated time to share if you so desire to do that. But Cafe Talk for today's show is, if you had to change your name to a color, what name color would you choose? If you had to change your name to a color, what name color would you choose? So again, we'll check in on Facebook and Twitter. Hopefully we'll get to Twitter. We always have a problem getting to Twitter, but Twitter people don't really participate anyway. All right. And, or you can call me. And I'll be sharing what my favorite color is as well. So as I said, we're not really going to do cafe news today. And trust me, there is so much news. As you know, there's always news. But because I do want to, I want you guys to enjoy and hear the interview that I had earlier in the week with Dr. Matthew Knowles. Before we go there, however, I do have some quick announcements. As I was out and about in the community and talking to folks, I found out these things, and I'm involved in one of them. So these are save the dates. So write this down if you're interested, and you should be interested in this one, especially if you enjoyed it as much as I did as a little girl growing up. Mark your calendar for June the 16th. June 16th, a double Dutch contest will be happening locally here in the Joliet community. There's a fair that happens every June. It's called the Soul Care Fair. And on June 16th, they will be hosting a double Dutch contest. Now, I used to wonder, well, I still wonder, do the girls get out on double Dutch the way we used to? And full force when we were kids, you drive down any given block and you'd see girls on both sides of the street on the sidewalk. And sometimes in the street, if you grew up in the inner city, double Dutching. And so I haven't seen it, over the years. I guess the kids are more indoors now, perhaps in gyms and things of that nature. But nevertheless, apparently these young girls are double Dutching because a contest is going to be happening, and you should be there to support them. All right. All right. And then later in the summer, on Saturday, July 28th, the Including You Family Fest is going to be happening downtown Joliet, and we'll give you more information about that as we get closer to the date. And also on that date, and this one I'm involved in, the world's longest or largest line dance is going to go down. That's right. Also downtown Joliet. So let me just give you some clues. Some of the line dances that we're going to be doing are posted on my YouTube channel. You have to go to my favorites, I believe, or what's the other term, area in the YouTube, saved videos, or somewhere on my YouTube channel, Marilyn's Cafe Society, to find the footage. I found footage. I had been asking around, who remembers how to do the old school bus stop line dance? Now, everybody kind of thought about the Charlie Green one, the Chicago bus stop, but I wasn't referring to that one. I was referring to the one that came out in the early to mid 70s. I believe the Fatback Band was responsible for this particular line dance. And lo and behold, I found it. I found it on YouTube. So I posted it in my favorites. So go ahead and start taking a look at it, especially if you're local here and you want to participate in this world's longest, largest line dance, because we're going to do that. We're going to incorporate that into the dance. So we're going to do the old school bus stop. The video is on the YouTube channel. And we're also going to do the Chicago bus stop, the Charlie Green version. That one is also posted on my YouTube channel. And we're going to do the hustle. Remember that? The hustle? All right. That video is also posted with all the moves and steps. So you have no excuse. I want you there. We want you there to just dance for community. And of course, those are 3 of the line dances that we will, in fact, be doing. Now, there'll be more, and I'll be, updating you as we get closer to the date so that you can practice and be ready for that Saturday, July 28th. So again, mark your calendars. It's going to be a blast. All right. Did I get those announcements in? I think that's it. Forgive me if you reached out to me to announce something or share something with everyone and I didn't do it. Just forgive me. I, charge it to my head and not to my heart. All right. So let's see if we can get to some Facebook comments regarding our cafe talk, which again is, if you had to change your name to a color, what color would you choose? So we're going to Facebook right now to see what comments might be there. And let's see. Also, you can call 815-593-1695 to chime in right now. 815-593-1695 to chime in to share your name, what your name would be. Just real quick, as we're trying to wait for the Facebook to load up, I would change my name to Purple. So as a little kid, a little girl growing up, I kind of went back and forth between my favorite colors, but they all, it's all gonna make sense in a minute. So for, a while it was the color pink, then purple. Then I went into liking the color red and blue. So as an adult, some years ago, many years ago, when I discovered, I don't know, probably 30, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna say how many years ago because then I'll be giving away my age, but some years ago, as if you guys don't know anyway, but some years ago, I the color purple sort of dominated in terms of what my favorite color is. And so that has been it over the years, the color purple. So that's why I like it. But so anyway, here's why I like it. I know I'm trying to do too many things here, but let me focus. So I like the color purple because it's the best combination of two of my favorite colors from the past, red. And I used to like red because red was just so bold and powerful and hot. It represents all of that. And then blue, because blue has this calming effect. It's very cool and laid back. And those are two of the colors that I've liked and, are on my top 3-4 lists in terms of colors. And purple happens to be the perfect combination of those two colors. The hotness of the red and the coolness of the blue. How can you be hot and blue all at the same time? Well, the color purple. So there you have it. That's what my name would be, the color purple. Now, let's see, we do have a post here. Let's go and read it. So Nat says, if I had to change my name to a color, it would be red, because red is a powerful color. It's bold, not afraid to be confident, yet not afraid to show love, not afraid to fail, nor is it afraid to succeed. It is truth in color, and that's who I am in nature. So that's my friend Natalie commenting on what her name would be if she had to select a color for her name. And we'll go to a few more posts in a second here just to share those with you again. If you're watching live, give us a call here, 815-593-1695, and share with us what your favorite color would, what your name would be in terms of color if you had to choose a name. You can text too at 815-593-1695. You can text me as well to find out to share what your name would be if it was a color. All right, and so we'll just see if we get any more responses or calls, and I'm waiting for the other Facebook page to load, and we'll see if we can get to Twitter with that as well. So again, if you had to change your name to a color, what name or what color would you choose? Mine obviously is purple. Okay, so while we're waiting for that to happen, let's go ahead and sort of get you prepped for the second part of today's show, which is the pre-recorded talk that I had with Dr. Matthew Knowles. He's author of a new book that's called Racism from the Eyes of a Child. And again, I had an opportunity to talk with him. We talked for a good period of time, but there was not enough time for us to really delve into the different topics that came up. We talked about racism. We talked about colorism. We talked about classism within the African American community, and so much more. One thing that I did not get to talk to him about is what I call Negroism. And we'll talk about that at some point later on, but we did talk about everything else. So let me just give you the definition of what racism is before you go to that video to check it out. Racism, and the reason I'm doing this is because it is a term that we throw around a lot. Racism, racist, But what is racism? In a nutshell, and this does not encompass everything that racism is, but here's, for the sake of a definition, here it is. The belief that one race is superior over another race or other races, of people which leads to discrimination, acts of discrimination, prejudice, bias, bigotry, cruelty, hate, and mistreatment towards those other people. And it's all based on the color of their skin, their race, or their ethnicity. So in a nutshell, that's the base meaning of racism, but we all know that it encompasses so much more. Also, colorism, which is a term that has come up, I guess, within the last 10 years or so, or at least we've been hearing more about it. But and colorism is something that exists primarily within the African American community, and it's prejudiced attitudes and or discriminatory acts against people based on the shade of their skin color. And again, this happens, within the African American community, sometimes consciously, willfully, and then other times it's more subconscious. You have just kind of been conditioned that way without even realizing it. Some people come to realize it later in life, which is what Dr. Knowles did. And he shared it in his book, but it's a subconscious thing for the most part. And then this word coloration, and I'm tickled because during my talk with Dr. Knowles, that was a term that I used, not quite sure where it came from, unless I was thinking about the Mary J. Blige song, hateration, And so I just came up with coloration. And, I've covered the subject matter of colorism on my show over the last 10 years or so as well. It's been the sole focus on a couple of my shows, but for some reason during our talk, coloration came out, and I know how God works. So I looked up the word coloration, and by the way, he just kind of went right along with it, okay, Marilyn. And maybe because he knew this, coloration is, by definition, the appearance of something with regard to color. Basically, that's what it is. It's the pervading character or tone of something. So it all tied together, all right? All right. So just some background before you go to the video and, check out the talk that I had with Dr. Knowles. Again, although we talked for a significant period of time, we only scratched the surface of what he shared in his new book, Racism from the Eyes of a Child, which is, based on my talk with him, it's a type of it was very therapeutic for him to write this book and his healing process. You will be surprised at some of the things that you learn about him. You just, as I have for my mom and my grandparents and my dad and his parents and, Dr. Knowles and others who have shared with me over the years. I know I'm off camera. I was trying to grab the book of Thomas Armstrong, who had been on my show, the stories that he shared, being a freedom rider during the civil rights movement, the autobiography of a freedom rider, just shedding tears for them because they went through something so that, their counterparts, we, with Dr. Knowles, we're kind of sort of in that same age group. And then those under us, the Gen Yers and the millennials and all of that, so that you can enjoy some of the freedoms that you have. We still have a ways to go. One question that he did not answer because we were pressed for time, and that is, I asked him, did he think that we could ever totally eradicate racism? And, that's the big question that prevails. Now, I know some people are thinking, why are you talking about this? Why do you keep bringing this up? That happened in the past. Well, you cannot let these kind of acts against humanity die out as if it never happened, or it doesn't still to this day exist, because it does. And the reason we have to keep talking about it and sharing, because so many have stories to share and tell, as Dr. Matthew Knowles, who knew? Well, he's sharing his story in hopes not to provoke hatred towards other people, but to enlighten people, to open folks' eyes, and of course keep the topic on the table so that we don't go backwards in humanity, that we continue to progress and protect the rights of others. All right. So before I let you go and get to that video, let's just see if there's any other comments on Facebook. Oh, here's a text. Hold on. Here's a text. Hi, Marilyn. This is Risa. My name would be Blue because of the calming effect that the color blue has on people. All right. So we got two there. Risa says blue. Natalie says red. And I say purple. Okay, folks. I think that's it for today. Before I let you go to part 2, that's already posted on this YouTube channel, I got to tell you what love is. And love is when missing you means that you're special. All right. And remember, if you don't do anything else this week, folks, be sure that you live, you laugh, and you love. As always, it's been a pleasure and a privilege. We'll do it all over again right here on the YouTube channel, Marilyn's Cafe Society, next Saturday. Remember, it's the month of May, my birthday month. So I'm going to be bringing it. Got some more great interviews set up and lined up. And I want you to make sure that you tune into the channel to become enlightened and informed and entertained, hopefully. On the singing, the karaoke moments, I just haven't had that practice time yet, but we'll do one, maybe for Black Music History Month in June. All right. Peace, everybody. Make it a great week.